Sinatra. Alright. Yeah, homie, I'm coming, and I'm never gonna.
Yo guys, what's going on? Monix come back at you with a new video here on Gears of War 3, playing some TDM here on Sandbar. I believe I go 17-3, so it is a pretty good gameplay, but that's not the focus of the game today. Today I have some more Gears of War Judgment information provided by Gameinformer. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, enjoy some of the new details that I have, so let's get right into it. First off, just wanted to say that the game itself takes place in a place called Halvo Bay. The reason why it takes place in Halvo Bay is because it's the first place that the Locust targeted after E-Day, so it makes complete sense why it would take place there, since this is a prequel and everything like that. Getting right into it, and one of the reasons why they made it so that Baird is the main character, they stated it right away, is that ultimately, they never did a backstory on Baird. Now, we all know that Marcus is the main character in all three games. They did the backstory on Dom with his wife. They also did a little segment with Cole in Gears of War 3 when he was in the locker room and he had that little moment in the campaign. But they never truly did something on Baird, and that was something that developers said that they wanted to do for the longest time, and they finally took an entire game to do it. Also, something that I noticed right off the bat while reading this, it's actually like a 4-page cover, so if you guys want to go pick up Gameinformer and read it, I suggest you do so. It's pretty good. But anyway, one of the things that I noticed right off the bat that's actually going to be a very, very big difference, and I'll read it right here. It says, players use the left shoulder button to quickly toss a grenade, swap between primary weapons using the Y button, and hold it down to draw their pistol. So there's no more use of the D-pad when switching your weapons. You know, for hardcore gear gamers, they said that you're actually going to like the change, which I kind of am, because the D-pad is really annoying sometimes because it takes a while to take out the weapon. So I'm hoping that this will actually change the weapon swapping system, because it really does take a while to take your hand off of the analog stick and bring it down to the D-pad in order to change the weapon. So it just makes the game a lot faster, and that's another thing that they emphasized a lot in this article, is that the game is 20 times faster than any other Gears of War game, which I'm hoping is true, because that would be really, really cool to have a really fast game, really fast, action-packed, and I really cannot wait for that. Another thing that I wanted to discuss about the campaign is that they said there's going to be double the amount of locusts on the screen per shootout, which is actually going to be pretty cool. You know, with all the Gears of War games, it's been pretty much go here, kill the locust, then go to the next spot, then guard something, then go to the next spot. So hopefully the fights will be a lot harder. E-holes are back, emergence holes, for you guys who don't know what that means. And I'll get into emergence holes a lot later because they play a lot into the new game mode Overrun. But there's also a new thing, or a part of the campaign, and it's called optional modifiers to the campaign, and what they are declassified testimonies. The campaign itself is basically Baird telling his side of the story to the chairman of, it's not Chairman Prescott, it's somebody else, I forgot his name, and he's just telling his story to the guy, and we're just reliving the story that he's telling to him on trial. And what you could do is actually play these declassified testimonies, and what they are is they're just skulls that are embedded on the wall, and all you have to do is go up to them and I guess press a button, and it'll start that action sequence. And if you complete them, it alters the campaign a little bit, and if you do not complete them, then it results in a game over. So basically, if you want to complete them, you basically have to complete them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about, like, oh, now I don't want to do it. You have to complete it if you choose to, which they might change, because I don't really know if a lot of people would want to do that, because what happens, they're really hard and you're stuck on one. But that's Gears of War for you. Anyway, there's also something called a smart spawn system, and what that is, and I wish it was for multiplayer, where, you know, it would change up the spawns a little bit so you don't get spawn camped. But basically what it is that the game will actually analyze how good of a player you are, or if you replay a mission, different characters will spawn. You guys know how in the campaign there is like different difficulty settings. Obviously, that's for almost all games. Well, in past Gears of War games, all it would do is affect the health of your character and the health of the Locust. But now what it actually does is harder difficulties actually spawn more enemies and also alter the health. And not only that, the enemies are most likely going to be heavier enemies, such as more boomers and things like that. So that's basically what the smart spawn system is. It's also called the S3. So if you ever hear them say S3, that means smart respawn system. Something else that they're actually initiating in the campaign is that they're actually going to be putting Horde in campaign mode. There's going to be parts of the campaign where it's going to have a certain number of rounds where you have to fend off the locusts for like a certain number of rounds, or in like a timed situation, which can also be declassified missions, some of them. So those are going to be pretty interesting, because Horde mode has been one of the most successful things besides the multiplayer that Gears of War has done. As you can see, a lot of games copy it now because it was so successful. You know, even Call of Duty and Halo copied it, so you know it's a pretty good mode when those games copy it. Another thing that I want to go over is Overrun. Now, Overrun is the new game mode. It looks very promising. I have to say, I'm actually quite excited to play it. I don't know why. I was never excited for Beast mode or Horde mode, but I actually am kind of excited for Overrun. So anyway, Overrun consists of 2-time 5 vs 5 rounds, each team taking turns as the cog and the locust, so each round it switches, so kind of like Search and Destroy a bit, only there's no bombs. But in this sense there are. I'll get into that in a little while. Well, actually I'll get into it right now. There's actually, when you're the locust team, you have to try and attack 2 E-holes and a generator, but the generator is going to eventually be switched to a Hammer of Dawn when the game ships. So basically what happens is that the cog must protect these 2 E-holes and this Hammer of Dawn beacon. Excuse me, it's not just a Hammer of Dawn, it's a Hammer of Dawn beacon. So basically, if you're the locust team and you attack the cog and you capture one of the E-holes and break through it, because they're sealed E-holes, if you break through the sealed E-hole, krill come up and they kill all the cog. And basically, if you get to the final Hammer of Dawn beacon, then Hammer of Dawns come down from the sky and kill all the cog. Now that's the same thing said for the cog. If the cog hold off the locust, then the locust all die after the time allotted. Now if both teams destroy all 3 things as locust, it's the team who does it fastest that wins. And there's 5 rounds to this, so it's actually going to be pretty exciting, and I can't wait to play it. There's actually 2 tiers to locust that you can play. You can play bottom tier, which is a wrench, ticker, Cantus, and Grenadier, and the champion tier is a Bloodmount, Mauler, Corpser, and Serapede. And actually in each of the classes there's actually like special abilities, like the Mauler can spin his shield and deflect bullets, and then there's the Serapede who could spit poison, and there's also a lot of other abilities. So I definitely suggest that you guys go pick up this article, because I can't really go through everything. And the cog classes are Engineer, which is Baird, Soldier, which is Cole, Medic, which is Sophia, and Scout, which is Garen. And Sophia and Garen are the 2 new cog that you guys saw in the trailer. And there's actually one more thing that I want to go over. There's actually a new enemy in the campaign. The name of the guy is actually called Big and Bad. That's his code name right now. Epic did not want to release the full name of the new locust, but hopefully they do soon. But anyway guys, been Monix. I'm pumped for this game. Hopefully you are too. Peace out.